guys. Hey, I have a story for you. This is a story you know. It's Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's a story that I heard when I was a little girl. Sometimes stories are just way fun, and sometimes you learn things from stories. And I don't know, the way I tell this story might be fun, or it might be something you might learn from too. I don't know. Let's see, okay? Once upon a time, there was a cottage in the woods, and in that little cottage lived the three bears, a papa bear, a mama bear, and a baby bear. And one morning, Mama Bear made some yummy porridge. It was really yummy. It smelled delicious. But when they sat down to eat it, it was too hot. So Papa Bear suggested that they all go out and go for a walk and let it cool off for a little bit. And of course, Mom liked the idea and Baby Bear liked the idea. They loved walks in the woods. So they went on their walk. And while they were out walking, there was a little girl who was a very curious, adventurous little girl. She was out wandering around and she spotted the cottage. And she walked up to the cottage, tapped on the door, and no one answered. She waited for a minute. She thought maybe she could look in the window, but when she tried to look in the window, it was too tall for her to see in. And so she went back to the door, and she tried the door handle. And guess what? It opened. It wasn't locked. So she wandered in. She looked around the house, and she could smell something delicious. So she followed her nose and she went into the kitchen. And she saw on the table 3 bowls. And in those bowls was the most delicious looking porridge. So she climbed up in the first chair, and there was a great big bowl. She took her spoon, she tasted it, and ouch, it was hot. So she dropped the spoon, went over to the next bowl, and it was a medium-sized bowl. She stuck the spoon in, took a taste, and it was cold. Porridge isn't very good when it's cold. So she kind of went, yuck, and she put down the spoon, and she went over to the other small bowl, and she stuck her spoon in, and she tasted it, and it was just right. It was so delicious. So guess what? She ate all of it. And after she finished eating it, she thought, well, I'm going to have to walk back home pretty soon. But my feet are kind of tired. My legs from my walk clear over here. So she decided she should go find a place to sit down for a minute. She went into the living room. She climbed up on a great big chair. It was Papa Bear's chair. And she sat down on it, and it was hard as a rock. She was not comfortable at all. So she went and sat in the medium-sized chair. And that chair was so soft, she sank way down in it. And she didn't like that either. So she climbed up out of that chair, and she saw there was a little chair. And she went and sat on it, and it was just the right size for her. It was comfortable. She could put her feet on the floor. She liked it. So she sat there for a minute, and then all of a sudden, there was a little bit of a creak, and then all of a sudden, a tumble. She went tumbling to the floor. The chair broke right while she was sitting on it. And she thought, well, that wasn't a very long rest. I'm going to go see if there's a bed to lay on because I'm feeling really tired now. So first she climbed up on the biggest bed in the room. It was Papa Bear's bed. And it was hard too. So she climbed down and went over to the medium-sized bed. Hopped up on it, and it was so soft. Once again, she just sunk right in. she didn't really like that a whole lot either. So she climbed down, and there was a little bed. And she looked at it and said, "That's such a cute bed. I bet it'd fit me just right." And she laid down on that bed. And it was perfect. It was comfortable. She snuggled with the blanket and on the nice pillow. And before she knew it, she fell asleep. Okay, well, the mama and papa bear and baby bear, they had gathered some berries and they were hurrying back because they were really hungry by now. So they went into the house and decided surely their porridge was going to be cooled off enough to eat now. So Papa Bear sat down and he looked at his spoon and his porridge and he said, "I think someone's been eating my porridge." And then Mama Bear looked at hers and she could see her spoon had been eaten on too. And she said, "Someone tasted my porridge. I'm sure of it." And Baby Bear looked at his dish that was empty and he started to cry and said, "Boo-hoo, someone ate all of my porridge. And now I'm going to be hungry." They were very curious and very suspicious of what had happened while they were gone. So they decided to go look. They went into the living room and Papa Bear looked at his chair and said, "Someone may have been sitting in my chair." Mama Bear looked at her chair and she said, "I'm really certain that someone's been sitting in my chair because it's all smashed down." And then Baby Bear went over to his chair and he saw that it was broken. And he said, "Boo-hoo, my chair's broken. I don't have anywhere to sit." And they all couldn't believe. They're like, "We've got to find out. Someone's been in this house for sure." And they went wandering. They went back to the bedroom. Papa Bear looked at his bed. "So I think someone might have been on my bed." Mama Bear looked at her bed. It was all wrinkly. And she said, "Someone's definitely been in my bed." And then Baby Bear, he looked at his bed. And oh, there was someone in it. He screamed. And when he screamed, Goldilocks heard it. And it woke her up. And it scared her. And she screamed because she saw 3 bears there. She jumped up out of bed. And she went running home as fast as she could. And then, when she got home, her mom and dad said, "What's going on? Why are you so scared?" And she said, "I was at the bear house, and when I woke up, there were 3 bears looking at me. I didn't know it was a bear house. I ate their porridge, and I sat in a chair, which broke, and then I fell asleep in the little bed. And when I woke up to the bear screaming, it scared me and I ran home." And her mom and dad said, "Yes, I think you were at the bear house. Well, let's go see what is going on because I don't think you should have been there when you weren't invited." So they went through the woods. Goldilocks showed them where the bears lived. And they knocked on the door, and the bears answered their door. Said, "Yes, your little girl, your Goldilocks girl with the blonde hair was here at our house. And she came in, and she ate Baby Bear's porridge, and then she sat in his chair and broke it. And then she fell asleep in the bed. Oh, we didn't mean to scare her, but we didn't know what to do about someone coming in our house when we weren't home." So Mama and Daddy Goldilocks said, "Yes, should not have been in your house when you weren't home. We need to make it up to you." So they said, "We'll be back." And then they went home. And Mama made a pie for the bears. It was a very yummy, nice pie. I'm going to show you how yummy it looked. They made this yummy pie. And Dad grabbed his tools. Okay? And they went back to the bear's house. And they knocked on the door and they said, okay, we have this yummy pie for you. And I would like to fix your chair. So they got out the tools and they fixed the baby bear's chair. And when they were done, it looked good as new. Isn't that nice? The bears were so happy. They enjoyed pie with the Goldilocks family. And they talked about how we should never go into someone's house if we're not invited. And we should never eat their food unless they offer it to us. And we should always be kind and polite. And that's the end of my story. So what do you think about my story about the three bears? Did you learn anything? Yeah, about always knocking on the door and going into houses when you're invited? Yes. And was it fun? Yeah, it was fun for me anyway. Oh, well, I love you guys. And I'm excited when we go visit you pretty soon. And we're going to have to do some stories together, okay? So you pick out a few books and we'll read them together. And Grandma loves every one of you so much. So you have a good day and a good night. Sleep good, okay? Mwah.